Hello world, you're watching 80s Music Twin Ranked. I'm Joel.
And I'm Chris.
And we're talking about the best decade in music because today's music sucks. We could also talk about movies and the government because that also sucks. But we'll stick just to the music.
Yeah, we'll do movies later. We'll go with everything.
Alright, a little bit of trivia. First answer you know. Everybody knows this. What's the first video ever to play on MTV?
I can't remember what their name was, but they did Video Killed Rock Radio Star.
Video Killed
Who was the
Star.
band? I don't remember.
I looked, but I forget.
Yeah, I do too.
They are irrelevant, even though I hear that song on the radio. Number 2 song that MTV ever played, we never hear.
Right, You Better Run.
You Better Run from Pat Benatar, and that's our artist for today.
Right, they already know that because they can see behind us.
Well, it doesn't say the song that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And that actually is the song I would want to hear on the radio today from Pat Benatar.
I'd want to hear You Better Run or Treat Me Right or
a little
Fire
too
and
late.
Ice.
Even though you didn't put it in your top 10, A Little Too Late is never played.
Fire and Ice or All Fire and Ice.
Invincible.
I hear Invincible. I hear
We Belong.
We Belong.
Heartbreaker.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot, and I also hear Love Is a Battlefield.
Okay.
Those are the ones I hear all the
Love
time.
is a Battlefield all the time.
But Heartbreaker and Hit Me With Your Best Shot are the 2 songs I said. I didn't say them, but those are 2 songs I would like. Don't play them because I hear them
Turn
too
them
much.
off. Replace them with the other ones that we don't hear.
Love Is a Battlefield also is up there.
Yeah, and so all her hits, all the ranked hits she made, rank between 1980 and 1980.
I know. If you look at all the albums, like her first album was 1979.
I didn't rank this. That's why it's suddenly
sloppy. My writing stinks. In the Heat of the Night. And then 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So her first, this one's 7 the hard way. I think it's because it's their 7th album. This is a live album.
7 years in a row, an album released every
Yeah.
year. And then there's a gap between that last one.
Yeah, and so this one, the 1983 Live from Earth, is a live album, but they put 2 tracks out that were not live, and Love is a Battlefield is one of them.
Doesn't sound live, but it's on a live album.
It's not live. It's a studio recorded.
So
album.
when she played the whole thing, so they put a studio
on
a live album.
Yes, they did.
That's weird. It's kind of weird, and it might be the most memorable video of hers, right?
Yeah, probably.
And simply because that part where
because they did a dance segment.
They had the same. And it's not on the song.
It's the same guy, the same choreographer that did Michael Jackson's "Beat It."
Yeah, so she does that, and that music when they're doing their dance thing is not on the actual song from the radio play, right?
Well, when I think of Michael Jackson choreography, I don't think of "Beat It." I always think of Thriller.
Thriller with the zombies, yes.
Or Bad, or Smooth Criminal. There's the ones that got the.
But you know, even though it's got that dance.
Unless he did the choreography for the fight scene, maybe that's what.
Right.
So.
The dance routine though is not what I know best about that video. Okay, 2 things that are more
the fashion, the clothes they were wearing.
I'll tell you what, the villainous guy in there.
Oh right, yeah, he looks
man, does his teeth look weird?
He looks like
he's got this girl with gold teeth or something.
He's supposed to be a pimp. I think he's
maybe. That's what all of them.
It doesn't say, but I'm just assuming.
And then at the end, and then at the end, as they're all leaving, she's like hugging everybody, giving them high fives.
Yeah, I'm like, you danced with them for.
We don't even know anybody in this. Right? She's the only girl in her rock band, right? So who are these people?
Well, they're probably people she spent time with. We didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't mean anything to me. Bye, whoever you are. Alright, so history-wise, so we see the first album was 1979, and she put out Heartbreaker as the hit for that song, but it only got to like number 34. So technically, and MTV had yet to be launched, because we just said You Better Run was the second one, and that was on the next album, okay? So Heartbreaker, even though it was a hit, nobody really knew her. So in 1979, interestingly, she and Blondie, that's probably grammatically incorrect, Deborah Harry, who was Blondie. Technically, Blondie had a hit before the movie was released as well. But the movie was made before she was a star, before Pat Benatar was a star. Right. Actually, I I was skipping through the YouTube video. Did you see the plot?
No, I was about to watch it and you pulled in.
Okay.
So
Movie called Union City, released in 1980.
Yeah.
Apparently, this one vagrant guy is Sam McMurray.
Okay.
Okay, do you know he was on
I know, yeah, he's
Tracy
Simpsons,
Ullman
right?
show?
Simpsons,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like this guy's Deborah Harry's married to this guy. They get milk and it's put out of their. Yeah, I'm talking about movies right now. Milk is put out in front of their door, and every day he goes out, and the milk is half drunk already. Somebody's been drinking.
Yeah,
the milk.
I don't know if you probably already said the movie.
Union City, yes. So he's worried about who's drinking his milk delivered. So he rigs the bottle so he can hear who. He comes out and here's this vagrant guy drinking the milk, and they have a little fight, and he knocks the guy out, but he thinks he kills him. So he puts him in an empty apartment across the hall in one of those hideaway beds that goes into the wall, right? And so eventually, then he keeps, he's worried about that whole instance, the whole movie. But then several times the apartment showed to people to look at it. And Pat Benatar is a newlywed with this other guy, and they buy the place.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's worried there's a body in the bed. He goes to check the bed. Bed's all bloody. Body's not there anymore. So he's freaking out. He jumps out the window and kills himself. And then the vagrant's across the street, and he's watching the whole suicide situation. So that's your movie.
So yeah, this video is going to be called Pat Benatar, the Union City Review.
But interestingly, that Deborah Harry and Pat Benatar, before they were stars in this movie, then they both had hits.
What is you said Pat Benatar might have had a hit before? What was it?
Heartbreaker. But Heartbreaker was
not. I thought I said Blondie.
Blondie. I think it was the Heart of Glass was her first #1 hit.
And that was before the movie.
It was after they made the movie, but the year that it was released.
Okay, gotcha.
So go figure. All right. However, Blondie
is known for more than one movie.
She was not allowed to do any music in that movie.
Okay.
She was the lead character,
right,
kind of with the other guy.
Right.
They told her you can't do it, but one of the other guys from Blondie did the soundtrack to it. Okay, because of that, she actually put out a song called Union City Blues.
I saw that.
And it's because she wasn't allowed to do any music in the movie. All right, so where was I going?
I don't know, but Pat Benatar, speaking of movies, is known for more than she starred in that.
Right.
But she is known for more than just that movie.
Yes.
She's been in TV shows and even shows on television where she played herself.
Yeah, a lot of
probably
people
movies that she played herself too. But she also, one of her hit songs, was a theme from
Legend of Billie Jean.
Legend of Billie Jean, which
Christian Slater and Helen.
Helen Slater. Helen Shaver.
Helen Shaver. Not Christian Slater. Was he in that?
No, I thought it was Helen Slater. That's why you said Christian Shaver.
I was thinking Helen Shaver. There's a Slater and a Shaver.
Yeah, the actress who played Supergirl.
Yes. Okay.
She played Legend of Billie Jean.
She was also a Secret of Mike's Success, right?
Yes.
That's who she was. Okay. So that was her big song.
And she when she gets on stage to play that song, she tells the audience, "This is a song from one of the worst movies ever made." Oh, and we always say 1985 is probably also the best year of movies.
Right.
And that was in 1985, just not one of the best movies.
That's
one of the worst movies.
But that song wasn't in 1985 because the only song she put out that year was "Love Is a Battlefield," I think. Yeah. Well, no, that was in 1983. So maybe it was Invincible. I don't remember.
Yeah, we do research before the videos.
And then we forget everything we just researched. Okay. So, and then she also, after 1988, she was in a afternoon special, something called Torn Between Two Fathers. So, your
she's not known for being an actress.
Your career's over. Let's do something else that nobody
she's not known for being an actress.
No.
Just stick to listening to her music. She's a good singer.
So, most of the stuff she puts out 2 good hits. Sometimes it hits 3 hits. But
that's the way you put out music, though. Is when you're popular, when you just become popular, put an album out every year.
You do, and you don't.
Like 5 years.
You don't put out 7 hits either. I mean, I don't understand. Release the whole album, then nobody buys it because we already heard everything, right?
I had heard that was going to happen with Tears for Fears. Songs from a Big Chair, and they never did do it.
What?
I heard every song was going to be released.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but then it never happened.
So, now something else with movies.
Okay.
So now go back to MTV. You remember the video Fish Heads?
Yeah, it had Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton in it,
and he was also in
Shadows of the Night
with Judge Reinhold. Judge Reinhold played a pilot that was part of Pat Benatar's. It was actually a dream anyway. She was dreaming. She was dreaming at the beginning, and she's dreaming.
And again, that was before either one of them were big too.
Bill Paxton played one of the Germans. At the beginning, he's just standing next to the general. That's
you don't know who Bill Paxton is.
Twister.
He's the main guy from Twister, right? Yeah. Judge Reinhold. He would be one of the cops from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just flew through their albums.
Yeah. And we always talk about also, did she have anything related to Weird Al do anything with hers? And he did not, as far as we could tell.
No, but she made a cameo in the only music video by Rodney Dangerfield called Rappin' Rodney. And he's good. He goes. It's almost like he went to heaven or something like that. He's like everywhere he goes, he's talking about getting no respect.
Okay.
And then he gets to this jail cell, I think it is. And there's this hooded figure, and it pulls it down as Pat Benatar. That's it. She's gone. That's the only time she shows up.
But Rodney Dangerfield is not Weird Al. So.
No, but I'm just saying it was a parody video for a comedian. And she made an appearance.
Yeah, and also Christmas songs. She has done Christmas songs, but we always talk about famous Christmas songs that we hear every year, and you really don't hear anything. A lot of bands put out Christmas music, and that's not what when we bring up as Christmas songs. We always bring up a famous one that we hear every year.
Yeah, and I heard now later, more recently after the 2000s, that she married her lead guitarist.
Oh yeah,
Neil Girardi or whatever.
Yeah, she has a weird Pat May. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to attempt to say the last part is Juicy. I'm like, okay.
Her original.
Yeah, her original name, but she married
Giraldi, I think it's called.
Yeah, no, she married a guy named Dennis Benatar.
Oh, okay.
So she could probably retire because as many times I hear her songs in a day on those stations, she's probably getting royalty checks. That are pretty. I hear that with Sting. He wrote "Every Breath You Take," and he's like, he gets royalties for that song, that song, every day. So.
Which is weird because if you ask me, I don't know why that song is considered as big as it is. It's one of the most bland police songs out there, but it's really popular, and it made it to #1.
I think out of the 4 songs that are released from that album, I'd say that's the worst.
Yes. Now, Pat Benatar, she her last hit, like I said, was in 1988. She has 4 more albums there. Who knows about any of those?
She didn't have any hits. That's why they're.
Now, she put out music videos, but I didn't include those in our ranking because who knows?
Yeah. I said if they didn't rank.
Yeah.
Her last hit, as far as I'm concerned, is All Fired Up from Wide Awake and Dream. I know where Katy Perry got her title.
7 the hard way. There's another thing lazy people do. It's her 7th album, so let's just include the number in the album. Yeah, so we can get to the top 10 because we're through with her.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now it's time for
top 10.
This video is gonna be a short one compared to our. All right, so it's always average about 40 minutes.
So I wanted to get to this because this is the first. Now we're getting to some of these artists, even though we're ranking her high up there, because she's the first woman singer that we're doing from the US.
People are like, wait a minute, you haven't done Aerosmith yet?
Right.
Or, I'm like, well, yeah.
I'm saying,
it's what we like.
It is what we like, and we're still going to be doing hundreds of bands. You're still going to be like, wow, the 80s had a lot, because we rank top 10s from a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first time, though, even though we have more than 20 songs we picked from, but we noticed that most of them are like, okay, those aren't a hit. I can say legitimately she had 15 Billboard hits, right?
Right.
But you picked all 10 that are in our list.
Okay.
So there are no honorable mentions coming from Chris. All right. There are two from me, and I have the wrong list in front of me.
There was one last question where you could have switched it out because there was a tie.
You mentioned last week that a lot of her songs don't sound alike. She has a few, but most of them have something different about them.
Well, there's a few that are alike, but and once they got to their
they changed
Live from Earth, I think
she
they
changed her style.
Yeah.
So and because it doesn't sound like other things, We Belong, even though it's played a lot, I like it. You use that choir. A lot of people use choirs, but I like her choir using. So We Belong I had, and then A Little Too Late because it's one of the rarely played songs.
Yeah.
Even though there's not a lot going on.
It's a little slow.
It's a little slow, but
Yeah.
it's different. But I don't like Shadows of the Night. Even though it's got Bill Paxton in it, I don't like that song.
Oh, but that's why everybody's like, man, she's got the greatest voice of the '80s, female artist. It's kind of like Shadows of the Night, where she's belting out without any instruments behind her at the beginning.
I don't know. Could you say there's any other woman artist who's like her? I mean, there's groups that Vixen was similar to her. And there's a few, but they didn't have 10 hits. They didn't last like she did.
Like maybe Joan Jett, but
Joan Jett.
She only has. She doesn't mirror how many hits.
No. You could probably find a 10th just to round out the spot, but it's nothing we heard here on the radio. Yeah. So she's different, but she's not in the Hall of Fame, which I think a lot of people like. Come on, really, as influential as she is.
There's a lot of people who should be in the Hall of Fame, and
Yes.
again, we've talked about this in one of our other videos, where the Hall of Fame is like there's so many that can go in every year,
it's not a lot of people's votes. It's a few select group, and it's who
Yeah.
they like. It's like our videos. Okay, all right, but they're wrong. Okay, so. And my others, I said A Little Too Late was my other song.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the two that didn't make it. So let's get to the number 10, which should be exactly what I just said. It's the one I don't like, Shadows of the Night. At least it's number 10, right?
Yeah,
Because I put it, here's how I don't like it. Number 15, that's me.
Right.
And you had it at 7. I'm glad you didn't have it higher.
they're higher. It might have been 9.
Yes. Now this is the only song we have from Get Nervous.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's 7 albums that these songs come from on the top 10. That's how scattered they are.
Yeah.
Okay, and this you pointed out. You're like, hey, you remember that song Get Nervous? And I didn't remember the song, but the video I kind of remember.
No, it's called Anxiety.
Yeah, it's
Parentheses.
called. I know,
But the album's called Get Nervous.
Yes, and she's in a straight jacket on the cover.
Yeah, and with high heels. I'm like, okay, they wouldn't let you wear those.
She's got the crazy hair, like Bride of Frankenstein or something like that.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in a rubber room.
Yes. All right, so, and I would actually put Get Nervous. I think I had Get Nervous over Shadows of the Night. All right, so next one up. We have 2 songs from this album, Precious Time. Okay, Promises in the Dark.
Right.
And I kind of grouped the Shadows of the Night, Promises in the Dark.
Yeah.
They're word them all similar.
You don't get Shadows in the Dark.
But I think doesn't this one start slow? And gets really fast.
Yes.
That's why I like it better than the other one. I have this at 11, so not quite in my top 10. Those are the 2 that replaced the ones I like. You have this at 9, I have it at 11. And that came from Precious Time. All right. Now the song that I want to hear, You Better Run. This is from Crimes of Passion.
Did you happen to go watch the video since they said it was the second one played?
I actually watched it before I knew that fact.
Oh, okay.
So I like the video. I mean, they have a few videos where she looks like she's in the back alley with her band playing a song. This is one of them. So this is from Crimes of Passion. Crimes of Passion, I would say, is probably
It is her best-selling album. It was the best-selling album.
I would say this is her best album too, because I listened to a few of them.
Her best hit supposedly is "Hit Me with Your Best Shot," but I would say "Love Is a Battlefield."
Love Is a Battlefield
is more widespread.
Yeah,
worldwide.
that one actually.
"Hit Me with Your Best Shot" is probably the biggest in the U.S.
Love Is a Battlefield went up to number 5, and so did We Belong. So those are
but
2
I'd say
highest.
"Love Is a Battlefield" is her most known song in the world.
I think people thought maybe Hit Me With Her Best Shot was her best song, because when she put out her greatest hits, it was called
Best Shots. Yeah.
So, all right. So You Better Run. I had it at number 4. You had it at number 10. That put it at number 8 on our chart.
Yeah. What you people who are watching this, if anybody's watching this, is if you don't know these songs, you need to go listen to them. They're pretty good.
Yes, and another reason we put these out is you got those first-time listeners, and we're telling them what they should listen to in any particular group.
Yes.
The higher we are, that's the one you need to listen to. Okay, so next one up is the one from Live. and that's Love is a Battlefield. I had this one at number 8 because it's played constantly.
Yeah.
You had this at number 4, so that's why it's above You Better Run, which I would not have put it there. Okay, next one up, our second song from Crimes of Passion, and that's Treat Me Right. You have this as your third favorite song, so higher than Love is a Battlefield. I have this at 7, one higher than Love is a Battlefield. So we both agree this is one above Love is a Battlefield.
That's how we're going to compare them.
Right. So that's number 6 for us. So yeah, that's our first album where we have 2 songs we picked, Crimes of Passion. Next one up, the only song from the first album, In the Heat of the Night, and that would be Heartbreaker. She actually put out We Live for Love. I'm not a big fan of that song.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Even being a woman.
I knew it when I heard it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Even with her higher
remember.
voice, she uses a falsetto voice in that. It's terrible.
Was it ever on the radio though?
I don't remember. But again, we were 9 years old at the time. But this was my number 1 song. Heartbreaker was my number. And I originally had Hit Me With Your Best Shot, and then I re-listened to everything and I re-ranked it again and put this one. And you had this down at number 8. Now, I forgot to mention this. On that album, she did a remake of a John Cougar song.
Oh yeah,
I Need a Lover.
But she did not do
The 2-minute intro.
Yeah, the 2-minute
so
intro.
yeah, I noticed the song was 2 minutes shorter than John Cougar, so she didn't do the beginning part.
But again, on the radio, and I've been hearing John Cougar's "I Need a Lover" on I think it's 107.5 at work, and they just go right into it. They don't even play the intro.
Right. So it's probably similar to her song.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and we'll be doing John Cougar in a couple weeks. Yes. Okay, so we're not gonna give you a hint next week because we already given you a hint right now.
In that video, I'll say we already told you what we're doing, just not this week.
Yeah. Okay. So next one up, and even though none of these songs are in our top 3, but it's 3 songs coming from Crimes of Passion. So that's why I still say it's the best, even though it doesn't have one of our top songs. However, I put this as my number 3 song. You put this at number 5, and that would be Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Okay, so the 3 above it all come from different albums that we haven't met. Well, no, we mentioned one. Okay, so 7...
And 2 of them have the same word in it.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Yes, a form of the word. So this next one, from 7 The Hard Way, it's Invincible, that song we just talked about from the movie. It's actually on 7 The Hard Way, but it's also on that soundtrack. Is there any other songs on that soundtrack?
I don't know. It's a terrible movie, so why would anybody want to buy the soundtrack?
Ever seen the movie?
No.
I think I wanted to see the movie.
She thought it was, it's supposed to be based on a true story, I think.
I don't know.
It's Billie Jean, I thought she was...
Legend of Billie Jean.
I thought Billie Jean was a tennis player.
Billie Jean King. I don't know.
Isn't that what the story's about?
We have to ask Michael Jackson. Who's Billie Jean? He knows. And all he ever said was, "That's not my son."
Yeah. Oh, I just read about. We were talking about Diana, Prince of Wales.
Okay.
And we didn't mention this, but she'll be on a John Cougar song.
Right.
She was on a Bryan Adams song. Diana, that was about her.
Yes.
And Elton John, she already done Came
When she died, right.
We did 3 songs in our top 20.
That's true.
Well, we haven't done our 20s yet, but yeah. So in top 20.
Well, you didn't put Diana didn't make our top 20. Well, top
No,
20.
John Cougar will be in our top 20.
Yeah, that's true.
Artists.
You're right.
So,
all right, now we're at number 2. And Chris mentioned there's a word in both these songs. So you probably know what the 2 songs left are.
yeah,
you know
the same.
Okay, since this was her last ranked hit coming from that album, Wide Awake in Dreamland, it's called All Fired Up.
All Fired Up.
I almost got the title wrong. Like,
All Fired Up.
I'll be there for you. I was like, she never sang it. All right, cut that out.
Yeah, there was a guy I worked with. He would say, "I'm all fired up," or something. He'd do something like that. He'd say, maybe he asked me. He asked everybody, "Are you fired up?" And then he expected you to answer, "All day, every day."
Oh. Where'd you work at?
Where I'm working now. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm just saying, he doesn't work anymore. So.
And now nobody's fired up because
Yeah.
no, you don't have the.
So he actually didn't say all fired up, but so.
Okay, it's all fired up. All right, number 2, and again, I mentioned you had the top 10 songs.
Right.
You didn't have any honorable mentions. You got the top 2 right. Right in the fact that when we rank them, you get the top 2. So number 2 for you, and number 5 for me. Put this at number 2. And then the last one, coming again from Precious Time, so 2 songs from that album, is Fire and Ice. You have this as your number 1 song.
Which if you put the 2 together, it becomes steam. Water first, then steam.
So this is your number 1 song. This is my number 6 song. There is a movie called Fire and Ice. I don't think the song is in it though.
Probably not.
Virginia Madsen's in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think it's an action movie, so we gotta go see that one again because I like action movies. Nothing to do with anything. So that's our list. I know everyone disagrees with that list.
You think, no, you might.
No, you probably.
You might. They'll not agree with the order, but they'll probably agree with the songs.
They probably agree with the 10 because those are the top. Well, except for We Belong. Those basically are the most known songs from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was a short video for Pat Benatar because I mean she's got a small list sample size.
Yeah.
Just about a decade.
She has more albums right there.
About 12 studio albums.
She's got more albums right there than the Eagles had. So.
That's true. Or Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. He only had 4.
Yeah.
Without a whole more hits, I think that she had. So
David Lee Roth was what, 5?
6 albums.
Is it 6 albums?
Yeah, I think so. And then, well, you got to figure the one he came back with too.
Oh yeah, I don't include that one.
Who does? All right, so here, fun little. We're gonna go back to the beginning of this video for our hint for next week's video. You wonder who the artist is? Well, let's just say
the video
killed this
radio
star's career. and I don't know, how many groups are there where you put out a video?
Well, the funny thing
end
is,
of your career.
The funny thing is, he had that video, and they say it killed his career.
It did.
But he had a couple more albums and some hits after.
But by and large, his career.
He lost his fan base.
His career went way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened, and that's next week.
Yeah.
But even despite that, we have him in our top 20. Wasn't so bad.
Up till then, we like all the songs he did.
That's right.
Except for one, I just like, ugh.
Would you quit playing?
Would you quit playing that?
Playing anymore? We don't even know what it means. And again, guess that one. All right. Until next week, I'm Joel.
I'm Chris.
We'll see you.
Bye.